What is up? Today we're going to talk about a deadlifting variation that I learned when I was in Russia and how you can use it to get an iron grip. So some of you may know, but in 2015, along with my business partner, I took a trip to Russia. It was part of a program where you could go and you could live in their Olympic training center. You could train alongside their athletes. You could listen to lectures from their coaches every evening. And then it culminated with a competition. It was basically the length of a full training cycle. I learned a whole lot of stuff while I was over there, a lot of different aspects of technique and how to perform certain things for technique correction, a lot of really nuanced strength training exercises that were meant to benefit, your body in the effort to improve your Olympic weightlifting total. But there were a couple of things that were so important for just general strength that I think has a carryover to normal lifting, even if you're not trying to do any kind of Olympic weightlifting variations. The one we're going to talk about today is a grip variation for the deadlift. So a big thing that they impressed upon us was that this structure, basically your wrist and your lower arm, needs to be really robust and really fortified because it is the point of connection with yourself and the barbell, whether it's on the floor, on your shoulders, or overhead in both a clean and snatch grip. So this joint and this junction is going to take a lot of stress. You've got to spend as much time as you do on everything else building it up to tolerate that. Big thing they made a note about was the way that your brain and your hands communicate when you initially lift a weight off of the ground. So their thought was, well, if I go to lift it and it starts to peel my hands open or it feels really heavy, my body is automatically not going to attack it the way that I want to be able to accelerate it up the way that I need to make a successful lift. So I thought that was really interesting. If you've competed in Olympic weightlifting or you've just done a lot of lifting, there's something to that. You go to pick up the weight, it feels heavy, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? And then maybe you make it or you don't, but that first impression does have an impact on the rest of the lift. As you get a little bit better, you learn to kind of ignore the initial speed coming off the ground, but it does have an impact. You guys have also had those days where you go to pick up the weight and it feels like nothing in your hands and everything feels secure, and then you can really destroy that lift. So we're gonna go over the variation that they taught us to hopefully totally get past that barrier and to always make everything feel light in your hands. Say we were gonna do a clean grip deadlift, we would do 3 positions. So if this is my traditional style, I would start with my hands maybe 2 or 3 inches out, a little wider. So not in a snatch grip, but a little wider. And then I would do a couple of lifts there, always going from a dead stop. Okay. And then I would move my hands in a little closer, so maybe an inch on each side. Bring it in a little bit closer to my normal lifting position. And then on my last one, I'd be in the closest at about where I normally lift. Okay, so now you've seen it. I'm a little sweaty. Ooh, had to work. It's hot in the garage. So now you can kind of see what it is. It's really just like a mechanical drop set with your grip. So if you've done Olympic weightlifting, or if not, you can probably imagine that the wider the hands go, the greater the pressure is on just kind of the inside couple of fingers. If we're gonna be doing a hook grip, it's kind of like this. It's not really gonna be much outside here anyway, but it makes it much more difficult. The rule with this is we don't hook grip, we go full grip like this. So we're double overhand, we're not switch gripping. And we wanna be up pretty close to a heavier deadlift for us. So maybe somewhere around 80% plus we did it for 6 reps. So we did 2 reps in each position at 80% of our best clean grip deadlift with a hook. So it's funny enough, the first thing that we did when we got there was work up to a heavy, no hook grip, clean grip deadlift, so double overhand deadlift. And then we took a percentage of that and we did it for 10. So it was clear that like in the very beginning, it's really important that you get really strong. This would be something that you would do early on in your phase. You're not gonna do it close to a competition phase. This is really getting you ready and just generally prepared with some base level strength, with some extra stuff in terms of like at the hands and the grip and the forearms and stuff like that. I did it up on a block. Really, you were gonna do it on the ground. It's going to put you in a little bit of a deeper joint angle in terms of a squatty position when the hands go a little wider. So it's actually really good for strengthening the hips and the legs in various angles above and below your normal start position for your clean. So I found it really, really helpful. I thought that was a really novel approach to take for grip training, where it still stayed very close to the competition exercise, and it probably has a high chance for carryover. So that's that. I'm sweating buckets. I'm going to get out of here. Go ahead and give it a shot. Let me know if you have any questions about programming. If you like this stuff in terms of the little snippets that we learned in Russia, I got a million of them. I'd love to share them all. Hit me in the comments section down below. Don't forget, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, click on this video right here if you want to watch some other good stuff, and we'll see you next time.